Yo, what's up, guys? It's Noah here. And in today's video, gonna be talking through the two-game NBA slate on Draftkings for Wednesday, April the 12th. We do have day 2 of the play-in tournament, and we have the 9 versus 10 seeds playing each other, and these are going to be very, very important games. These are actually these are do or die games. So if whatever teams lose here, these two games, their season's over. If you lose these games, your season's over. If you win these games, you will play again on Friday against the losers of whoever loses the Tuesday games. Now, actually, I'm making this video on Tuesday afternoon, so we haven't even seen the games on Tuesday yet. But yeah, these are going to be some very important games. Obviously, do or die. So we'll talk about minutes expectations, what we can kind of expect from a lot of the main stars here. I expect really, really big minutes for a lot of the main key guys. But we'll go game by game and talk through each one of these two games, just kind of give you an early breakdown of this slate, what I do like, taking a first look on Tuesday afternoon when I'm making this video. But before we do get started with the breakdown, as always, guys, if you enjoy these DFS videos, if you find them helpful, make sure you hit that like button down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. We did just hit 40,000 subscribers, yesterday on Tuesday. So I appreciate all you guys hitting that subscribe button. Another big milestone, 40,000 subscribers. We're going to be on our way to 50,000. Hopefully, the channel will just continue to grow. I never thought, when I made my DFS channel, when I started making DFS videos like 6-7 years ago, never thought that 6 years later I'd have 40,000 subscribers and I would still be people would still be watching me make these videos. But it's been a ton of fun. Obviously, I enjoy doing this. I've been doing it for a living, so appreciate all you guys' support. Appreciate all you guys hitting that subscribe button. Also, if you guys are new to the channel and you've never checked out PrizePicks before, PrizePicks is the sponsor of this video, and you guys can actually sign up for PrizePicks and use my promo code Noah. When you sign up, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you sign up with my promo code. And for those of you that have never heard about PrizePicks, they are a player prop site. Very simple, very easy to use. You're just taking more or less on a player's projection. It's as simple as that. You have to make at least 2 picks. You can make up to 6 picks. You can win up to 25x your money on PrizePicks. You can see they already have some props posted for Wednesday's games. They pretty much have their full board up right now. They even have games up already for Saturday. So there's a lot on the board. You can take a look at all the props that PrizePicks has available. Again, if there's anything that stands out to you, you're just taking more or less on a player's projection. But as always, I'll have some plays posted for these games on Wednesday. I'll probably have a video posted sometime later tonight, later Tuesday night, posting some plays I like for Wednesday. So if you guys want to check out that video, you want to see some props I like for these games, you can do so. But if you guys are not playing on PrizePicks yet, again, sign up for PrizePicks, use that promo code Noah. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. But let's go ahead and talk through these two games for Wednesday, and we'll start off with the first game of the night, the Bulls and the Raptors. So we'll start off on the Raptors side. The Raptors, they were a team, especially late in the season when they were fighting for playoff position, they were a team that was running a tight rotation almost every night. And obviously in the play-in tournament, in a do-or-die game, we can expect a very tight rotation here for the Raptors. I'm expecting them to probably run an 8-man rotation with the 5 starters being Siakam, Van Vliet, Barnes, OG, Pirtle, and then off the bench, Achua, Boucher, Gary Trent. I don't think anyone else on Toronto is going to get minutes unless this game turns into like a blowout or something, or somebody gets injured. So we can expect really heavy minutes for the main guys: Siakam, Van Vliet, Scotty Barnes, OG, Jakob Pirtle. He'll probably play around like 25, 28 minutes. Maybe he gets to 30 minutes. But when you look at the price tags on these Raptors, none of these guys are like super, super expensive. I don't think the matchup's great here against the Bulls. I think when you look at these two games, this Chicago-Toronto game is definitely the less appealing game of the two, just because it's going to be played at a slower pace. You have two good defensive teams going up against each other. But still, when you got guys playing almost 40 minutes a night, you're going to get some upside. There's obviously upside here. So I think Siakam and Van Vliet are both viable options on a 2-game slate. If I had to choose between the two, I think I would lean Van Vliet for the savings. He's only coming in at 8,400. I think we're going to get like 40 minutes from Fred Van Vliet here, if not more than that. I'm pretty sure in the playoffs last season, Van Vliet was playing like 42 minutes a night. So I'm expecting huge minutes for Van Vliet. He should be productive when he's on the floor. It's not the greatest matchup, but the minutes, the price tags still make him look like a pretty good option. But I think these mid-range guys, Scotty Barnes and OG Anunoby, they both feel priced about right. Barnes is 7K, OG is 6,900. OG, I think his minutes are going to be really secure here. They're going to need his defense out there going up against DeRozan, going up against Zach LaVine. And we usually see OG play really big minutes when he's facing guys that he kind of has to defend. And in their 3 games against the Bulls this season, OG's averaged 37 minutes per game. I'm expecting close to 40 minutes for OG here. I think the price tag, though, at 6,900 does not make him look like a great play, but still viable. Same could be said for Scotty Barnes at 7K. I don't think he's a great play, but he's still viable. His price tag has come down a little bit. He's a fine option, but not a priority for me. Jakob Poeltl, though, is the guy that I really like from Toronto. I don't think Poeltl's going to play nearly as many minutes as a lot of these other guys, but you're not paying the same price tag for him. He's only 5,700, and we've seen Poeltl be really productive when he's on the floor. Even if he plays like 24 minutes, Poeltl can still put up 30 Draftkings points in 24 minutes, which at 5,700, if he gets 30 DK points, that's not terrible. I mean, I don't know if that's going to like win you the slate, but that's not terrible for his price tag. And we kind of saw on Tuesday's slate, there was really no value on Tuesday's slate. It's kind of the same for this one as well. The pricing is really tight, at least on DraftKings. It's hard to make like really good stars and scrubs lineups. I mean, you're going to have to play some of these mid-tier guys, and I think a guy like Poeltl at 5,700 is definitely too cheap here. Don't love the matchup. Don't think he's going to play like huge minutes, but I do expect Poeltl to be productive when he's on the floor. He's always been a good permanent producer. 5,700 is definitely too cheap for him. So I do like him as kind of a mid-tier option. And then looking at some of the value guys for Toronto off the bench, I think if I was going to take a shot on anyone here, it would definitely be Gary Trent. We've seen Gary Trent's minutes be kind of all over the place, but before the end of the regular season, he was starting to see, kind of a tick up in minutes. Gary Trent, I think he's kind of like a hot hand situation. If he comes off the bench and starts knocking down shots, he could play like 30 minutes. But if he comes off the bench and he's, like in this Boston game, he shot 0 for 5. If he has that type of shooting game, he's not going to play a ton because they just have other guys they can give minutes to. But I think Trent probably gets like 24, 25 minutes here, maybe more if he's hitting his shots, and he's only 4,200. I think Trent does look like one of the better value plays on the slate. He's probably going to be really popular, but I guess it's fine to eat that chalk. You can probably just get different elsewhere. So if I was going to take a shot on one of the Raptors bench guys, I think Gary Trent would be my favorite there between him, Boucher, and Achua. Again, I don't think anyone else on Toronto is viable because I don't think anyone else plays. So I guess we can go ahead and move on to the Chicago side now. And for Chicago, they've been a team I've just kind of been avoiding a lot this season. A lot of main slates. It's really hard to get excited about the Bulls because, you never know which guy's going to put up the big game. One night it'll be DeRozan, one night it'll be Levine, one night it'll be Vooch. But when you look at this slate as a whole and you look at the price tags for these Bulls guys, they're pretty cheap. DeRozan's only 7,700, Vooch is only 7,400, Levine is only 7,300. We were paying over $8K for these guys for a large majority of the regular season. I know the matchup against Toronto is not great, but we're going to get huge minutes for DeRozan, huge minutes for Vooch, huge minutes for Levine. So I'm fine going to any of these three guys. I think DeRozan's probably my least favorite. He's really struggled in this matchup against Toronto. I'm assuming OG Anunoby is going to guard DeRozan. OG's been one of the best defenders in the league. OG has given DeRozan a lot of trouble, so I don't love DeRozan here, but I think he is still viable just because he's going to play a ton. I think Vooch is okay at 7,400. I think the matchup is a little bit better for him. His minutes should be really secure here. The price tag is 7,400. He definitely has the upside to pay off this price tag. But my favorite Bulls guy is probably Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine's only 7,300. If OG Anunoby is going to be guarding DeRozan, I think this does kind of mean, potentially more opportunity heading Zach LaVine's way. I don't think it's like the greatest matchup for LaVine either. But LaVine's going to play a ton. I mean, we saw in the regular season, he was playing like 36, 38 minutes in competitive games. Now in a must-win game, win or go home, we're probably getting 41, 42 minutes from Zach LaVine here. 7,300, this is just too cheap for Zach LaVine. He should be, any other slate, he would probably be 8,300. But I think DraftKings kind of tried to make the pricing maybe a little bit softer just kind of because it was so hard to make lineups on Tuesday. So I think Zach LaVine at 7,300 looks really, really good. I like him a ton. And then the rest of the Bulls, I think you're just kind of like throwing darts with these guys. Kobe White, we saw kind of end the regular season on a high note. He was playing really well, was coming off the bench and was scoring a ton. But I think at 5,300, he feels priced about right. Not a priority for me. I'll be interested to see what the starting lineup is for Chicago. Don't know if they're going to start like Patrick Williams or Alex Caruso. If Caruso winds up starting, I have a feeling that he's going to be somewhat of a popular value. Caruso is not a good permanent producer, but he's only 3,900, and again, there's not like a ton of value on the slate, so I'm fine going to Caruso here if he does start. For what it's worth, his minutes have been pretty good in their 3 games against the Raptors this season. He's also done really well in this matchup. 28.5 minutes per game through 3 games against Toronto, over 30 DraftKings points he's averaging against the Raptors this year. So yeah, I think Caruso's in play for value. I would feel better about him though if he is starting. And then, again, Patrick Williams, maybe if he starts, he could go there. Patrick Beverley will probably start, play 24, 25 minutes. I think he's an okay value play. Again, not a guy that I ever get excited to roster, but on a slate with little value, Beverly's someone you could definitely take a shot on. But I think that's it for Chicago. Nothing else looks that great here. So let's move on to the next game, talk about OKC and the Pelicans. So for the Pelicans today, we still know that there's no Zion right now, and doesn't look like Zion's going to play. Maybe even if they maybe if they even get into the playoffs, don't know if Zion will be ready yet for the playoffs. So we're once again going to see the Brandon Ingram show. $10K for Brandon Ingram is really expensive, but man, you look at his usage lately, his minutes. I mean, to end the regular season, he was playing like huge minutes a night, just because the Pelicans, they were kind of in situations where they really had to win games. Well, obviously, this is a must-win game for them against OKC. Win or go home. I'm expecting 40-plus minutes from Brandon Ingram here. I think at $10K, he is priced where he should be, but clearly the upside is there when he's playing 40-plus minutes a night. And you look at the usage, I mean, he's been doing everything. Not only has he been taking 20-plus shots a game, but he's been rebounding a ton. He's been getting a ton of assists. He's just stuffing the stat sheet right now. There's really nothing negative you can say about Brandon Ingram besides the price tag. I mean, that's really the only negative here. I still think Ingram looks really good, though. I think CJ McCollum at 7,900 is okay. I don't have a ton of interest in CJ. Like, he's not a priority for me. But he has been playing pretty well lately. The minutes have been very good for him as well. He's been taking 20-plus shots a game. I think Lou Dort probably guards Brandon Ingram here, so it could mean maybe a better matchup for CJ. I think CJ is solid on a two-game slate, but definitely not a priority for me. And then Jonas Valanciunas, I think, is like just a total wild card. There's a lot of ways that J-Val's minutes get cut here. We could see the Pelicans just go small ball. We know this Thunder team likes to play small. But there's also a scenario where if OKC tries, if they try to play small against J-Val, that J-Val just like abuses them in the paint. So I think there's definitely two ways this could go. I could see J-Val absolutely smashing here. I could also see him playing like 15 minutes. I mean, wide range of outcomes. So I think it's going to depend on what his ownership is. If J-Val's going to be really popular, I would just be fine fading him. If nobody's going to play J-Val, then yeah, this is definitely a spot where I could see him crushing. He's done really poorly against OKC this season. His minutes have not been great, but again, we've seen centers do really well against OKC this year. OKC's really struggled to rebound. This is a spot where I definitely could see J-Val dominating on the glass. It's just a matter of if he gets the minutes or not. His minutes have been really volatile lately. We're seeing a lot of games where they can close like with a small ball lineup. Like they've been playing like Trey Murphy at the 5. They've been playing Herb Jones at the 5. Like they could do that here against this OKC team. So I don't think the minutes are secure for J-Val, but I do expect him to be productive when he's on the floor. And he's obviously someone you could roster in GPPs. I will definitely be interested to see what his ownership is for this slate. And then the rest of the Pelicans, Trey Murphy's been priced up to 6,400, but he has been playing really, really well lately. Been shooting the ball really well. I think he's still okay at 6,400. Definitely not a priority for me, though. I think there's other guys I would rather roster at this price tag. When you're looking at guys kind of priced around him, like I would definitely rather find $1,000 and play Zach LaVine, but I still think Trey Murphy's playable. I mean, he's getting huge minutes right now. I expect the minutes to definitely be there for him. You look at this Pelicans roster, like there's not a ton of guys on the bench that they feel comfortable giving big minutes to. So you can expect, pretty much besides J-Val, you can expect really big minutes for the Pelicans starters. Murphy, Herb Jones, CJ, and obviously, Brandon Ingram. And then Herb Jones, price tag's up to 5,600, but he's been playing pretty well lately. Minutes have been through the roof for him. I would assume that continues here. I assume they're going to want him out there for defensive purposes against SGA. So at 5,600, again, I wish he was cheaper, but I still think Herb Jones is a playable option. And then if you're looking at like value plays for the Pelicans, if you're looking for someone to take a shot on off the bench, I guess you could maybe go to like a Josh Richardson. Richardson's had a pretty solid role off the bench. His minutes have been, somewhat okay. He should play about 20 minutes here, and I think maybe if this game does wind up going small, we could see Richardson close over J-Val. So, I think Richardson at 3,700, if you're going to take a shot on someone off the bench for New Orleans, he's the first guy that I would play. Not a ton of interest in really anyone else, though. Larry Nance, Najee Marshall, not a ton of interest in these guys. I will say that if Larry Nance is out, I definitely think that makes J-Val look better. We've seen J-Val's minutes be a lot more secure whenever they don't have Nance, and Nance is questionable for this game, so just keep an eye on this. Actually would be some pretty important news to monitor. If Larry Nance doesn't play, then I guess you would see maybe Jackson Hayes or Willie Hernan-Gomez get the backup center minutes. I don't really know who it would be, but that's a guy that you could definitely take a GPP dart throw on, assuming Larry Nance doesn't play. I think he probably will play here, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. Now, on the other side with OKC, OKC, they've been another team this season where I really haven't rostered a ton of guys from OKC outside of SGA, and really the only times I've ever rostered Giddey and Jalen Williams this season have been when SGA is out. On a 2-game slate, we're obviously going to have to look to some of these OKC guys, but I think we definitely want to start with SGA here. When you're looking at the pay-up options on this slate, I think you can pretty safely say that SGA is a top spend-up option. You have like SGA, you have Brandon Ingram, you have Siakam, Giddey, Van Vliet. Out of all those guys, I would say Shai is probably my favorite. Shai's just going to have a massive role here. Minutes are going to be through the roof. He's probably going to play 40-plus minutes. We know his usage is going to be great. He has crushed the Pelicans this season. He's had a lot of big games against them. He's averaging over 54 DK points through 4 games against New Orleans. I know there was one game earlier this season. I think he had like 65 or 70 Draftkings points against New Orleans. Let me see if I can find it in the game log. Let's see. Yeah, so there was that game on December 23rd. He had played 43 minutes. Not sure if that game went to overtime or not. 43 minutes, 73 DraftKings points for SGA. So he has definitely had success in this matchup. Even though Herb Jones is a good defender, that really hasn't stopped SGA from putting up big lines. So I think Shai is a very, very strong pay-up option today. Josh Giddey at 8,800, I'm not as excited about. He's just really expensive, and we haven't seen him post, enough good games consistently when he's playing with Shai. A lot of his best games this season have come without him. So at that near 9K price tag, not a ton of interest in Giddey. Jalen Williams has been great this season, but a lot of his bigger games have come without SGA as well. At almost 7K, I'm not super interested in Jalen Williams here. And the rest of OKC, we know the rest of this team, it's really hard to get excited about anyone else. Lou Dort's probably going to play a lot of minutes. They're going to want his defense out there against Brandon Ingram. But Lou Dort's not a great per-minute producer. He's not a super high usage guy. But if he plays 36 minutes, he has a path to 30 DraftKings points on a 2-game slate. Lou Dort is definitely a viable play. But I'm not really looking at anyone else on OKC. Obviously, you could take a shot on a Jalen Williams or a Isaiah Joe. Maybe just hope that Isaiah Joe comes off the bench and just starts knocking down threes. That could definitely happen. But these guys are just like GBP dart throws. None of them would be core plays for me. None of them would be priority options. Really, when I'm looking at OKC, it's SGA that stands out as a clear top play. And then, Giddey, Jalen Williams, and then, Lou Dort, I think, are fine plays too. But that's pretty much it for the Thunder. Nothing else looks like super appealing here. So I think that'll do it for that game, guys. And I think that'll do it for this 2-game Wednesday slate. I know it's another shorter video because we only have 2 games today. And we'll have just another, I think it'll be another 2-game slate on Friday. But then we'll start to have some 3-game slates, some 4-game slates, throughout the postseason. Obviously, as we get later down the road, later in the playoffs, we're not going to have as many games each day. I don't know how long I'm going to make DFS videos. I don't know if I'm going to make DFS videos all the way up, to the finals. Maybe once we get to, the conference finals, that's probably when I might stop. But as long as, the viewership's there, as long as you guys continue to enjoy these videos, I'll just continue to make them. So appreciate you guys watching. As always, make sure you hit that like button before you do get out of here. Hit that subscribe button as well. And again, go check out PrizePicks. If you guys are not signed up for PrizePicks yet, use that promo code NOAH. When you sign up, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. But best of luck on this slate, guys. Hope you guys all enjoy your Wednesday night. Hopefully we can all make some money tonight, and we will see you guys in the next video.